What if I told you we have definitive proof that shitcoins do not outperform Bitcoin over a long enough period of time? And you're better off just hodling. Welcome back, everyone. This is an interesting story about a bet that took place back in 2021 between Eric Voorhees, who's considered to be an OG in the crypto space, right? He is the creator of Shapeshift Exchange, which is a shitcoin exchange, which was once upon a time a KYC-free exchange, but then he had to bend the knee to the state, as most businesses do. But anyways, essentially, 3 years ago, he made a bet with Zentoshi, okay, that his basket of shitcoins would outperform Bitcoin, okay? And Zentoshi, a fellow Bitcoiner, who I suggest people follow, he decided to bet against him. And so he created a list, okay, of shitcoins, which they agreed upon, and that they would essentially revisit again 3 years later. Okay, so here's the original tweet from 2021, and now the results 3 years later. And take a look at these, right? Like, I mean, you're talking stable coins. Look, in the original list, there was Luna. We all know how Luna did, right? That's just straight to zero. Look, ETH is in there, BNB is in there, Sol is in there, Matic, right? I mean, like, this is like the typical list of shitcoins, right? And 1inch was huge. It was huge. Look at that. Stacks, right? We all know stacks. Okay, anyways. So, right, you would assume with all of these shitcoins, I mean, one of them must have beat Bitcoin, right? They must have. Let's go take a look at the results. Here we go. Which, by the way, before we give the results, just so you know, Eric did pay Zender, because Zender did win the bet, and let's dive into how well he did. Anyway, so here we go. So even though the bet was made on a market cap basis, each holder is actually impacted by the inflation of the asset. So thus, if we compare per unit instead of market cap, the losses for the alts are bigger. And we can see right here, very, very simply, okay, if you just held Bitcoin, all right, throughout that same amount of time, if you just held Bitcoin and accumulated it, you'd be up 72%. If you held this basket of shitcoins, you'd be up only 44%. So, this nonsense that altcoins outperform Bitcoin, it's complete bullshit. And the thing is this, right? Every person likes to imagine that they bought at the perfect time and that they're going to sell at the perfect time. And when they have these ideas, a lot of times these people don't anticipate any of their emotional states. They don't anticipate how they're going to be feeling, what they're going to be thinking. And the reality is that you're not going to be buying the bottoms, you're not going to be buying the perfect token, and you're not going to be selling the ultimate tops of these tokens. So the average person is not going to be capturing all of these outsized gains. And you're going to be taking on an incredible amount of risk in illiquid markets that really, truly do not require a token. Okay. And look, I mean, I want you guys to keep in mind, right? Eric owns a shitcoin exchange. Okay. He holds himself 80% of his assets are Bitcoin. Only 20% are in shitcoins. Okay. But yet he's out there, as I just showed you, right? He shills shitcoins. None of that list had Bitcoin in it. Okay. So the reality is that these guys are incentivized to shill you what it is that they're making the most money from. And you could see the marketing that's done, they pepper all of these very wonderful sounding words throughout just to get you to believe that there's something more to this than just extracting value out of new bag holders. But anyways, guys, I think that this is very important. I know that I've shown that chart before about the 2,414 altcoins, essentially all compared to Bitcoin in terms of gains, and you could see it like Bitcoin just goes up and to the left, and all you see for these 2,400 altcoins is a bunch of noise. Okay, so look, if you're chasing the short-term gains, you are most likely going to get burnt. You can see evidence here. This is Eric runs an exchange. He owns an exchange, okay? He knows more about altcoins than I'd say than the majority of people out there. Okay, he has access to information significantly before anyone else, and I would even claim to say he has better information than most people. And yet he could not beat Bitcoin. Guys, he's not the only one. None of these people are beating Bitcoin. Okay? If you want to minimize your risk, maximize your ability to save and accumulate Bitcoin, then all you got to do is save and accumulate Bitcoin. Anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I thought that thread was pretty cool. And again, icing on the cake, we win again. Bitcoiners were right, altcoiners were wrong. Catch you tomorrow.